Hey guys, Zangetsu 134 here, bringing you another My Hero Academia vlog. Comment art build is next. Be patient. In this episode, we get the well, it's the beginning of the Provincial Hero License Exam arc, starting with the TLDR training, where they're training to get ultimate moves. So, yeah, in order to do so, Midoriya heads to the support course center to get arm braces so that he can ensure that his arms will not get as damaged as they used to. In doing so, he comes up with the ability to or realizes that he needs to change his fighting style so that he relies more on his legs as they're stronger than his arms, and he develops shoot style. So yeah, this pretty much follows the manga pretty closely, with only a few minor things that I don't think they didn't put here or they'll put later somewhere down along the road. The first being that the opening is entirely filler, as it shows Midoriya waking up for the first time, or waking up in the dorms. I think basically implying that like it's like the first day of them together in the not that like, you know, after the moving in day. Like this is like either like the first or like second day where they've all kind of, you know, have, for the most part, adjusted to living together. As it replays the ending of episode 12, season 3, episode 12, where All Might, or no, you know, that wasn't really the ending. It was the end of the episode, because the episode where Midoriya finds out that All Might literally can no longer be All Might, that he has completely lost one for all, other than the ability to occasionally bulk up his body for like a second. They put that there, I guess, basically to kind of imply that because he's wanting so hard to become the next symbol of peace, and really as fast as he can, that he has created a mental block on himself, so he can't see what he needs to do in order to better improve himself, or just kind of show that that's going to be on his mind throughout most of this arc, which would make sense to me. Sorry. It's like how how at the beginning of the season they had All Might and Midoriya meet at Dagobah Beach before the summer training camp, just because they were feeling a bit nostalgic, and you know, it was a way to show how another crank on my screen. Sorry. Anyway, kind of show like kind of like a wraparound, or how, like, you know, things that are important in that arc are playing into this arc. particularly that scene. They also leave out the part where I think Midoriya talks to May, and May talks about how, like, while they're doing improvements to his suit, they could completely change the base design, as it looks kind of plain. He does talk that to Mineta, because Mineta thinks he should have changed the suit completely since it was kind of plain. And to be honest, it's been a while since I've read this arc. I might need to read it again, because I really basically read it as it was going. And to be fair, I haven't completely finished it yet. I haven't finished the very end of it, and to be honest, the manga might actually beat me to that, since I think the next part of it doesn't come out until August, but we'll see. So, where's I going with this? Oh yeah. But basically, May's like, "Oh, that's no problem. We can we can do even the harshest job whenever we have a fussy customer." And Power Loader's like, "May, you really do it." In that, like, they have to deal with the fact that, like, heroes are going to be kind of fussy like that. Like, I don't want to change my whole suit. I just need a couple of additions. But yeah, those are really the only parts I think they've either changed or left out. And it's not like they're very big. I just noticed it But then sometimes they move stuff to like another episode, so they might actually put that in when Midoriya actually fully explains his suit. And I will admit, this was the first appearance of Suit Gamma in animation. I have to admit, I think it looks pretty good. I like Suit Gamma. I like the like almost completely arm length gloves that he uses to absorb the force that is applied to his arms whenever he uses it. I like the giant leg guards as well as the metal that is put onto it. Yeah, those his boots actually have metal plating on it now. Midori will explain it later when he really shows off shoot style in the provincial hero exam, so I won't go into it here. But yeah, he has metal on the boots. I like that they are it actually kind of works, especially because his fighting style is now kick based. It's kind of like a reference. I don't know if it, and to be fair, I don't know if this is actually referencing anything, but it kind of seems like it's referencing capoeira. Whereas in capoeira, the idea is that your arms are not really used for combat; they're used for because they believe that their arms are used for creation, but the legs are for destruction. So, having his arms cloaked in white and his legs covered in black for I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that was the intent of Horikoshi, but it was kind of an interesting thought process. And to be fair, I'm totally I might totally be reaching. I will admit that, but I thought it was kind of cool. And you never it could be that. I doubt it, but I thought it was interesting. So yeah, I like the scenes. It was cool seeing May again. I liked May when she was introduced in the sports festival. She's probably actually my favorite character from the sports festival arc, aside from Todoroki getting his development in that. And to be fair, Todoroki's development that's way more important to the plot than May. But I liked her in general. I liked her interactions with Midoriya and Odoraka. And I like seeing all the gadgets she had. And this episode I think gives her a lot of depth to her, that she's so focused on inventions and stuff, she kind of comes off as blunt or kind of rude, which she isn't. She just gets overly excited at the fact that she can create inventions for heroes, and she, whenever she has a new opportunity for making inventions, because she actually ignores, after she apologizes for smashing into Midoriya. She clearly shows that she doesn't remember their names, but that's probably more because of the fact that they were only important enough for her to be used as stepping stones to get what she wanted. But even then, it's not like she's rude about it. She just kind of forgets things because they're not important to her. And I don't think it's a rude thing. I think it's more she's just so obsessed with constantly making inventions, she tends to forget other things. But that makes her really funny. I also like that they point out that they actually explain that how long the school semester has been, 4 months. Because they see the pile of May's failed I don't know if they're failed, but pile of inventions that she's created since the beginning of the school year, and it's this massive pile, and she's made them in 4 months. They also go into how she's very much kind of an eccentric inventor sort of thing, especially because she quotes Einstein and Edison about how which actually is one of the things that inspires Midoriya to develop shoot style, is that I'm totally blanking on the quote. Well, she quotes the Edison one about how failure is the inspiration for creativity or something like that. And that, for every time she fails, she gets more ideas on how to do things. But there's one about how by 18, if you have certain if you have biases, that it's gonna create failure in you, and that you should always be thinking outside the box. And it's one of the things that leads to Midoriya realizing what All Might meant about how you're still imitating me. It's holding you back. and even that, like Gran Torino said, like as he said in season 2, that his worship of All Might is shackling him, and that it's making it so that uh he can't learn to use one for all properly. He's trying to use it how All Might would use it, and he needs to learn how to use it so that he would use it. Which leads to, in my opinion, a really good visual metaphor that Horikoshi did, where Midoriya is finally realizing what he needs to do. He needs to start developing his fighting style to use it in ways that his body can handle, which is to use his legs. Which, to be fair, makes sense because, like, even though Midoriya has broken his legs multiple times using One for All, like at 100%, his legs have recovered like really well. And to be fair, that's a thing with humans, because our legs and torso are actually the strongest points of our body. Our legs particularly, as we were built to stand on them, so they are exceptionally stronger than our arms, which are actually kind of fragile. It's why we, like most fighting styles, like they train you to either use like open palms or like keep your arms limber, because of the fact that like like just punching stuff, you tighten up your entire arm, and your arm sometimes can't handle when you tighten all the muscles, and it can lead to breaking your bones. Whereas that's not the case with legs, because your legs are built to stand that kind of force. Like, because again, like, people like have fallen off of like 2-story high buildings and landed on their feet. Yeah, it might break their legs, but at the same time, it might not break them so badly that like you can't completely walk. You might be able to like get by with just like maybe breaking your ankle or foot. And so technically, like, I think the weakest part of the leg is the ankle. Like, if you break an ankle, you can still kind of walk on it. Or if you break your foot, you just need a walking cast. Because really, like, the weakest part of the leg is the ankle and the knee. Like, because otherwise, like, your shin and your upper leg would be fine for the most part. Like, it takes a lot of energy to break the leg, if that makes any sense. So yeah, developing shoot style, because it takes a lot more to break your leg. He could get used to that, and he could develop his muscles better so that it can handle One for All more. And to be fair, later down the line, apparently Midoriya gets a way to use his arms in combat anyways. I won't go into that here because that's spoilers for way down the line. I don't even think that's going to be in season 4 of the manga or the anime. It's probably going to be like season 5 when it gets to that. But anyway, so yeah, and of course we get the scene where everyone's showing off their new moves or their new training skills. Particularly Bakugo's AP shot and Tokoyami's abyss cloak, or the black, or as he calls it, the black Ankh cloak, which I think in Japanese also means like black cloak, basically. Because I think originally he calls it like black abyssal cloak or something like that, but like Midnight's like, that's a little too long, so he shortens it to black Ankh. Which, to be fair, it didn't seem like it was that long, but then again, it's probably a translation thing that I don't really get. But yeah, and so I actually really like Bakugo's where he creates the AP shot, where he takes all the explosive force by putting his hand like this over his palm. All the explosive force is collected in here in this point, and shot at like a laser that can break concrete. Which I think is actually a really interesting thing. And later, I think Bakugo even points out that he can control the level of blast so that it won't explode through like a person. It would actually just it would hit them with a lot of concussive force, but it wouldn't be enough to pierce through them like a laser beam. I think also Todoroki's trying to develop how he can is still trying to develop how to use fire and ice at the same time, or something. To be fair, a lot of the class technically already have like super moves in a way, or have like abilities that you would consider a super move. Like Ida's trying to lessen the backlash he gets whenever he uses Recipro Burst, and which I think he develops into a new version called Recipro Extend, or maybe he already had that, but like I think he improves Recipro Burst and Recipro Extend. And but really, we don't see a lot of the others, because especially because a lot of the other class characters will be getting um new weapons that they get from the support course, particularly Kaminari and Jiro. Uraraka doesn't really get anything, but she's mostly trying to develop her better handling with her gravity powers. So she's not nearly as weakened by motion sickness, and B, so that she can combine her gravity powers with her gunhead martial arts techniques, which I'm excited for. I always love. I'm really hoping we get to see more of her gunhead martial arts, because I'm always happy to see it. We also won't see a lot of their upgrades until a couple episodes from now. Particularly Sue's. Hang on for Sue's, because Sue actually gets a really neat power with her frog abilities. Hagakure gets one with her invisible powers, which I actually thought was actually an impressive thing and I never thought about they could do with her. And of course, Mineta has his grape rush. Yeah. To be fair, I don't know. I don't hate Mineta, but I was like, okay, so he's got grape rush. What else is he gonna do? Well, I think he's kind of trying to develop an idea where he can maybe make a whip with his pop off, but I'm not entirely sure. They never really made that clear, and I don't think he really does anything that's super interesting in the next arc, especially because I think he's not even really with Midoriya for most of it. I think Midoriya teams up with Sero and Uraraka in the first round of and then I don't know if I'm spoiling stuff, but like I figure most people that are watching this have read the manga. If not, sorry, I don't mean to spoil. But anyway, we'll worry about that. But yeah, I think it's a good episode and all. We have a new opening and ending. The ending is apparently, I think, the theme song for the movie that's coming out, My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. Which I'm excited for, especially because there's going to be a Godzilla themed hero in it. I'm super excited. I love Godzilla. I can't wait. Especially if you can see in the back there, there's some a buddy of mine sent me these little dioramas of 97 Zilla and Godzilla versus I can't remember his name. I think it's like Bodygon or something like that. But I'm excited. I like Godzilla, so I'm excited to see what will happen there. As for the opening, it's not bad. I feel like I'm gonna need to listen to it a couple of times and hear the full version before I decide whether or not I like it or dislike it. It's not bad. I like the opening animation stuff, like particularly the fact that Midoriya is wearing his mask again, that was a part of his suit for the first time, as a way to, and it gets blown off as a way to show that Midoriya has finally has to cast the shackles of All Might off and actually find his own path, which reveals that he's in his gamma suit and that he's developing shoot style. We get some really weird imagery, like all of Class 1A falling out of the sky, like they've been attacked, which I think is a reference to the exam because of stuff. I think we also get the first look at the rival schools that they will be going up against in the exam, because UA is not the only hero school. It's the most prestigious, but there's other ones. Particularly I think it's Shiratech High. I can't think of the name. Oh, I feel bad that I can't think of the name, but they're basically the UA of the West, whereas UA is the UA of the East. There's some other schools, but that's the one that is the most prevalent because it's the second most popular hero course school in Japan. But yeah, so it's not a bad opening, but I have to probably get used to it. I really liked Odd Future by Overworld, so I don't know, I might not entirely like this opening, but we'll see. I think I'll at least like it. I kind of knew they were going to make a second one, because season 2 was also as long. And the fact that they have to change, they had to change the animation for the opening, so they might as well have a new theme to go with it instead of just having one theme. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm excited for this arc, and I'm excited to see just how much we're going to see of it and where it'll go. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Like I said, it's pretty good. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see the stuff that'll play out. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing more shoot style and all the other characters' new abilities. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. Commodore build will come out probably Thursday when my next day off is. I'm sorry that I'm kind of like an episode behind nowadays, but that's just the way my where I watch it plays it. It seems to kind of almost be like it comes out like when the next episode comes out. Um, but I will try and get it out when I can. It's gonna be a lot easier for me now. I work nights anymore, so I should be able to like if even if I can't do it on my days off, I should be able to get it out before I have to go to work. So I think I'll be able to do more vlog stuff for you guys easier. But anyway, guys, I'm Zangetsu 134, and I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.